I'm Greg Jenkins. I'm head of product to Findmypast, which is a family genealogy site with a vision to connect people to their past. The question of whether to build or buy, drew a diagram, much of a draw, and I drew a diagram and all the elements that are involved in it. And when you start doing that and you start looking at different infrastructure that you need around compliance, partner management, so the different payment gateways you have, security, PSI compliance, have we got that kind of resource that understands it, that knows it? Do we have the ability to quickly flex up when there's new compliance changes? Who's going to be reading up on the compliance changes required? Who's going to be looking at the different way that you can move card payments and being able to update card payments? There's a whole element, and how do you then also provide the elasticity behind it? So for example, new technology, open banking comes along. Oh, guess what? We're going to have someone who specializes in that, and we're going to have to recruit them. Very quickly, in one slide, you kind of say there's a huge gap. So it's not just about whether we buy it or not now, it's actually do we resource an entire new department who's going to be able to deliver this for us? And that kind of quickly answers the question, kind of, actually no thanks, we'd rather resource an entire development to build out some new functionality that solves another area that we want to focus on. So that was closed down quite quickly because it wasn't just a case of using our engineering team that we had that was building it to rebuild it. It's actually, if we want to do it right, there's an entire infrastructure that we need to get there. And the likes of Recurly, when you go down to it, their infrastructure's there. You know, there is that. There is the partnership managers who have the relationship with the payment gateways. That's already there. We don't need to worry about that. There's, you know, we get sent the updates about compliance changes that are happening. What do we need about? Don't worry, we've got it undercover. And that's exactly what we need. And that was part of the decision to go that route. Creating a business case as to why you should really invest in a new platform. What was critical for me was to make sure that actually we approached it from a customer problem first. And where we spent our time a lot was we started to build out different pockets across the business where we knew there was customer friction, and whether that be, for example, I mentioned the upgrading, the free trial, and people having to break their subscription and cancel and delete it through CS to reinstall it. All these stories you kind of heard down the way, and what we wanted to do is build up, just document them all. And we kind of built out pockets of themes within there. So for example, free trial experience or in-life experience or billing experiences, and just kind of pocket them up. And we started doing interviews, both a lot of time with the CS team, customer support team, just kind of understanding where the problems were, what people were complaining about. They did a great effort of tagging all the calls that were coming in, so we could really try to track down what problems they're having and issues. We had about 105, 107 problems, but actually what made the case really good is actually 80% of those were customer problems, and actually there are frictions which we had in our platform, which we were kind of oblivious to, but we knew about, but because our focus wasn't in that kind of space, in the subscription space. We're really focused on building an acquisition flow, building up a product that sustains that, but the subscription was kind of second. And as part of the experience, we wanted to try to remove that friction. And so we built out these themes. As I mentioned, we came with these 69 ones, which are really quite powerful ones, which resonated. It's kind of ones where you can sit in a boardroom and you tell the story and people across the room are like, oh, those are the ones which are really powerful. And so we created them. And I think in every single one of those themes, we probably had one of those where we brought up to kind of say that this is the existing experience today. To kind of explain, this is not just a technical problem. This is actually something that's that our customers are experiencing on a day-to-day basis, and that our CS team are having to deal with, which off a platform shouldn't happen nowadays. If you use a company like Recurly that does something, this shouldn't happen. These are past problems that don't happen. So we did lots of research around there. We didn't have as much data as we wanted to, because obviously this is a product that we built. It'd been stacked over years. The insight wasn't as well, so we had to use raw data. So going into our payment providers and exporting CSV files to kind of see what the failure rates were and see what the cards were, and put them onto an Excel spreadsheet and build up pivot tables, and so there's quite a lot of effort around that to kind of build out the business case behind. And then of course we had some journeys as well, where we started to look around the subscription journeys, look at where people were dropping off, and starting to put surveys around those places as to why were you leaving, or and each one had a different theme and a different context behind it. And then it enabled us to kind of come back to the board and really kind of say, this is where the value is going to come from. Yes, there is some revenue return, brilliant, that's the benefit, but actually it's more to do with the problems that we're currently giving our customers as they come through, and I think that was a powerful nugget that we took through, and it made the whole process much easier, and also gave something to give to our engineers, which is great, because by the time we got to the engineers and we say, right, these are the things we're solving. What we're not solving is the bad code. What we're not solving is the code of someone who built something but they're not with the company anymore. What we're not solving is a technology stack problem that we have. What we're solving is these real life problems that our customers are experiencing. Because if we remove those customers, they're actually going to achieve what they've come here to do much better, and the success rate will go up. And that in turn has a knock-on impact. That's where you're knocking impact on your monthly recurring revenue, on your, and so that kind of sells itself after that.